Hello agents. In this video I'm just going to give a bit of a state of the game recap. There's some big changes coming to the game. They announced some yesterday, they're going to announce some more next week, and we're just going to go through everything they announced yesterday. I'm going to give my view on it, and I'm going to let you guys comment away of what you think about it. So let's just get straight in there. They started off the state of the game yesterday with some fixes that they've made. They say they've made fixes to the game recently, including raid not resetting correctly, audio issues, classified assignments and collectibles. Now I don't know what they fixed. The raid's not really been an issue for me, but the audio issues are still there for me. Classified assignments, I'm not sure what the bug was on them. Collectibles, mine are all over the place. I assumed it was intended, so I'm interested to know what they actually fixed with the collectibles, if anybody does know. They went on to say Title Update 6 will release in October, but there's no date yet known. That will release with the raid, I imagine, the second raid that's coming, and I'm going to guess it's going to be mid-October to end of October, hopefully closer to mid. That's my guess there. There is going to be a PTS for Title Update 6. It will be happening soon, but there's no current estimated time for that. There'll be no story content on this, and there will be a multi-phase PTS. Going into some of the changes for the loot then, this is what I was waiting for in the state of the game yesterday, because this is important. I like where the game's at the minute with regards to the loot. I know there's a lot of complaints about it, but I think the grind is real. I think it needs to be on this sort of game. What I think the problem personally is there's just not enough to do. Like, you've got the raid, which is great, but once you've completed that 100 times, you know, how many more times do you want to complete it? And I think the only way you're going to fix that is with time. There's going to be some DLC coming, new modes coming, which will make the game much better, and I don't want them to destroy how the looting system works now. I do think they've got it close to spot on. Yes, it can make things a little bit easier, I believe, and there's some changes that are needed, but they don't want to make it too easy. If they make it too easy, my opinion is, what is the point? So this is where I was very interested in seeing what they were going to do. So I'm going to read through all this and give my opinion on it, basically, and you let me know what you think in the comments as well. So the named high ends will be revamped and new ones will be added. All brand sets will have items in all slots. Gear sets will have all bonuses unlocked at 4-piece instead of 6-piece. Gear set chest and backpacks will be buffed by getting talents. Raid gear sets minus the chest and backpack will drop outside of the raid. Gear sets will enter the general loot pool. Named gear pieces will be introduced, 35 items planned. Some of them will be unique rewards, some will have low drop rates, and others will only be available from harder difficulty content. Named gear pieces will have buff talents, better bonuses than the high end and equivalent, and you'll be able to recalibrate all these stats on the items other than the unique talent. All main missions and named zones will have a loot item associated with them and will change every day. You'll be able to see which zones and missions drop which type of loot via a toggle on the in-game map. Guaranteed drops of the associated gear weapon type from the end of the mission reward boss kills. These drops will be bonus drops and won't replace the other loot. These drops will also be in the dark zone, but will also drop as a contaminated item. Moving on to the recalibration of that loot, there are some changes coming. There's going to be a new UI, but there's going to be the ability to transfer stats regardless of the utility, offensive, defensive stat, and talent transfers are going to be more open. Crafting changes include raised material caps. There's no numbers yet. Material sharing between characters perk will be available. NPCs will drop more mats and won't drop any more once you've capped out. Polycarbonate will drop from deconstructing. Some blueprints will require less mats. Locations of blueprints will be made available at the crafting bench, and your stash space is going to be increased to 300. So there's quite a lot of changes there. There's a lot to go through. There's a few bits that I'm concerned about and a few bits that I absolutely love. So what I'm concerned about is the recalibration changes mainly, because the ability to transfer stats on top of everything else that has changed as well, that could be a deal breaker. That could be, for me, what makes it a little bit too easy to get the gear pieces that you want. Now, I actually like most of these changes, but to be able to swap a utility attribute out for an offensive attribute, I guess as long as it's only one and it works how it does now, it might work and won't make it too easy. But yeah, as long as it sticks to one. Like, they're bringing out new named gear pieces. I'm guessing these are going to be like you sort of classified from Division 1. Imagine if they could come with 2 rolls. Before you know it, it is too easy again to make these real overpowered builds. like I said, I really hope that's not the case, and I don't think we're going to be able to judge this until we actually see it and play it as well. It's something that we need to do. It'll be interesting to see on the PTS what it looks like live and in play, because that is quite concerning for me. I don't think this should. Personally, I don't think it should let you once you've got your attributes, that's the whole point. That's going to be what's going to make the grind for me, even with all these changes. The one thing that keep the grind there is having to get the attributes that you need. But we'll see. What I do like the changes though, like on a whole, I think they're absolutely fantastic. So the brand sets to start off with only needing 4 instead of the 6, that can make them viable again. Because at the minute, not the brand sets, the gear sets. The gear sets are pointless. So by only needing the 4-piece instead of the 6-piece, it might make them work. They're gonna come with talents on the chest and the backpack as well. So you've got chest, backpack, talents plus 2 brand set pieces you're able to bring into the build. That could be very interesting. It'll be nice to play around the gear sets again and to see if I can actually make something that's worthwhile. I did play around with every single gear set, and the only thing that I found of any use is the 8s and 8s, and that's because of the raid and how it works. With it is quite OP. It works very well, but none of the other gear sets have that. So I'm hoping this brings in something to make them viable, and we actually see some of these builds in use. I also like what they're doing with the named gear pieces. So named gear pieces are going to have buffed talents. These are going to be special gear pieces that are being introduced. There's only 35 at the minute, and they're going to be unique rewards, or you're going to have to do something to get them by the sounds of it. And when you do get them, they come with a unique talent that cannot be changed. That is the talent on that, although everything else can be changed. And it looks like your attributes on those pieces could be buffed. So I'm guessing like on your backpack, where you can go up to like 15% weapon damage, say, you're more likely to get that on one of these pieces. You'll get a buffed attribute, and I do think that's good, because these stats are very, very hard to get. What I'd love for them to do as well is to stop releasing these buff pieces at lower end clan vendors. They haven't mentioned this at all in the state of the game, but I think that needs to be touched on as well in Title Update 6. Let's just have items for everybody dropped across the whole of the clan vendors. I don't understand why they put, it seems to be every other week that they're putting a high roll at a low clan vendor. I just think it's rather silly. But yeah, this will be another way to get those high rolls, and I like that. All the main missions and named zones are going to have loot items associated with them. I've spoke about this months ago with Gavin, then we touched it on stream as well. It'd be great to be able to focus your grind into a certain part of the game where you're going to get the piece that you want from it, and this is what this sounds like. Every day it's going to change up. You'll be able to see what loot you can get from different missions and different areas. So for example, say that I'm looking for a Fenris holster, I might be able to find out this Fenris holster is on Air and Space Museum today. I can grind that mission all day in the hope that it drops a Fenris holster with the attributes and everything that I want on it, and I think that's fantastic. You've got a goal to aim for. It's still, like I said, it's still going to be a grind as long as that recalibration doesn't make it too easy. You still need to get the attributes that you need. You need to have the right colours that you need, the talents or whatnot. So I really like that change. I'm looking forward to having like more focused loot sessions, and I like that. I like that a lot. I like also with the crafting changes that you're going to be able to share your materials across characters now. I assume that's going to work like the mods one, where you just buy it and accept to share it across all your characters. I think that's good. Gives you the option as well. If you want to grind again properly with a second character, you can do. If you just want everything shared, you can have that as well. That it's actually an option. Whereas in Division 1, you were forced to. So I like that they give you the option now. That's brilliant. But that's it really. That's everything that they announced yesterday in State of the Game. Like I said, on a whole, I really like it. I do have my concerns, and I think that's more so I just want to see it, and I want to see how it works. I don't want it to be too easy to grind a build. The whole point of the game is to grind. I do think that they just need to give us more to do. And next week with the PvP changes and the Dark Zone, hopefully that will bring in some more stuff to do for me personally, because I don't PvP at the minute. I don't really enjoy it, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what changes are coming there, and going forward after the second raid in October, what new modes are going to come. I think that's important right now. I think they need to bring more modes. On Division 1 we had Underground, we had Last Stand, we had Survival. They all came, I believe they all came in like year 1. I wasn't Division 1 starter, But at the minute, we're looking at getting to the end of year 1 on Division 2, and we've not got any update as such yet. Yes, we've had a few extra missions, and we're having the raids, which are brilliant, by the way. I really do enjoy the raids, but I'm hoping for some new modes, something completely different to do. Above all, I'm hoping for survival too. Please do it. But I'm looking forward to, like I said, getting through all this, getting through the next raid, and seeing what's to come. I know we go back to New York in January as well. I can't wait for that. There's a lot to come in the game, a lot to look forward to, guys. There's no point being negative about it. This game is where it's at. I think it's in a fantastic state personally. I do enjoy it, but there is a lot that can be improved, and these changes from yesterday look like it is a start. To me, I'm going to go out and say these will improve the game. People will be happy with these, just as long as it does not kill the grind. That is very important. I'm going to leave it there for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Hit like, subscribe if you want more content from myself, and don't forget to check the top of the video description for a link to our community. If you love the Division 2, you're going to love it there, and we'll see you there. Until the next video, peace out, guys.